Are you a blogger, a vlogger, or a content creator ready to protect your rights and your content? Well, welcome to the show today as we discuss matters intellectual property, where you get to know your rights and your remedies under the law. I am your host, Mercy Wanza. Today we're discussing matters on protection of your intellectual property, and we are joined by a distinguished senior counsel, Mr. Moses Cugat. He is also the former chairman of the Industrial Property Tribunal, or if you like, IPT. Welcome, Mr. Cugat.
Thank you very much.
Do you mind telling us a bit on your stint during the tribunal?
Yes, it was a very interesting moment for me to serve as the chairman of the tribunal, because at that time we were able to change a lot of things in the tribunal, change the face of decision-making process, the sittings by the tribunal members, and also to generally make it a functional tribunal that meets the requirements of the law. And we made sure that our decisions are delivered on time without any delays, and we made sure that our decisions are also sound in law, make sure that the parties are satisfied, and those who are not satisfied were able to appeal and proceed and to find their way out in the legal morass that is in our courts.
Right.
Yes.
So thank you. Today we are honored to have you to talk especially matters to do with intellectual property. Now, Kenya has been hailed as a hub of innovation. And of course, with innovations comes a lot of creativity and the protection of that creativity. So could you just tell us in a nutshell what intellectual property means?
Intellectual property is a wide spectrum subject. It refers to intangible products and also products based on creativity, such as software, music, design, artwork, and of course trademarks and trade secrets, etc.
And patents.
And patents.
And copyrights. Right.
All those.
So, of course, we have the act that talks about the regulations and the policies under that. Now, what are some of the rights that are protected, that are stipulated in the law?
There are three or so statutes that govern IP matters in this country.
Right.
There is the Industrial Property Act,
Right.
then there is the Copyright Act, then there is the recent enactment for traditional knowledge aspects. Is it called TK? And also there is the geographical indication, which I think should be running now. During my time when I was in the tribunal, it stayed in the stage of a bill for a long time. But there are various laws now coming up to protect IP rights.
Right. So now Kenya, of course, is not void of vloggers and bloggers. So under what category on intellectual property do they fall?
Actually, the bloggers and the vloggers are very new areas of IP that is developing, and they fall under the copyright. Definitely, because they are intangible.
Right.
You cannot touch it with your hand.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
They do a lot of writing and a lot of YouTubing.
Yes, exactly. And also they produce a lot of videos to make sure that they make money in the process. Remember, the vloggers at the moment are having a huge market.
Correct.
And in the process they are making money. They have products ranging from food, music, to fashion, to all those, and that is why you have fashion practitioners. They say fashion law practitioners.
Yes.
Yes.
And entertainment law practitioners.
Yes, exactly. They are all there. They fall into that category of creativity.
Very interesting. So they are quite protected.
They are, yes. They have, you remember copyright, once you've generated an idea,
Yes.
you get automatic protection, because the moment you publish it to the world,
Yes.
then it is already protected by virtue of you being the producer.
Correct.
But of course, with the recent developments in the world, you can register copyrights at KECOBO, that is the Kenya Copyrights Board, if you so want. But it is not mandatory, it is not a legal requirement for you. But if you do, they'll give you a small certificate which you can use to protect yourself, or to flash around to show that you're protected. But the most important thing is to make sure that nobody copies your products without your knowledge, without your consent, and that one is protected by the Copyright Act.
Right. Yeah. So, Mr. Cugat, tell us exactly what rights are under the copyright.
There are rights that touches on music, art, publication, audiovisual, etc. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that's amazing because copyrights have quite a positive impact, especially on the creativity of people. So how can the young and innovative Kenyans get a copyright? And I know you've mentioned about Kekobo, but maybe you can expound further on that.
Copyrights, as I said earlier on, are not things that you need to walk around with them. These are things you produce from your mind and you record them or produce them through videos. And once you do that, they are already in the market, they are protected by virtue of the production itself. It is almost like automatic protection. Once you say, this is my blog, my vlog, and this is what I do, then you have protection automatically by the fact that you've published it.
Right. Now, when can one say that I feel bad that my copyright, my brainchild my rights have been infringed? When can you say that?
When it is in the market and it is copied generally by everybody and you feel that you're not earning from it, right, yet you're supposed to earn from it, then you need to take steps to protect yourself by making sure that you are in the know of what the law provides for you.
Correct.
And you can get a lawyer to advise you so that you can know the ways and means of going about how to protect yourself.
I think that is very, very important. Now, what are some of the remedies then if I realize that my idea, my creativity has been stolen, quote unquote, then what are some of the remedies that I have in the law?
Actually, you can sue for damages.
Okay.
You can sue for damages. Actually, that is the most important thing that you can actually get. So suing for damages is the most important. And also getting to, if people have already breached your rights, you can always tell them to make reparations to you. If they agree, you sign an understanding, right, so that they pay you for what they have utilized without your consent. So that one is okay. Right. You can do that.
Can you also file for an injunction?
You can get injunctions to stop them from infringing on your rights.
Right.
You can actually break into the premises where they are by way of getting Anton Pillar orders, yes, so that you can protect yourself. Correct. And you can visit the place. And there are many case laws that have been decided by the courts to allow you as a copyright holder the opportunity to protect yourself and to make sure that the wrongdoers don't get away with it.
I think that's quite informative. And finally, even as we come to the conclusion of this, how long does a copyright registration last for?
I think for copyrights it's a lifelong process. Right. It's 50 years. 50 years. Yes, and then thereafter, if what do we call it? They say that when you've done those 50 years, you can also assign them to other people. So right, it can continue for the rest of your life and the life of those who will have been assigned. Right.
So is this after the fact of death, or 50 years starts running from the time of registration?
From registration, yes. Okay. From the time you've invented, from the time you write a book, for example, from right, the time you produce your music. Right. So it depends on how long your music is popular and whether it is being played all the time. Right. I think the essence of protection is when it is exposed in the market. Correct. People are talking about it, they are right, playing, the airplay for this music, then gives you a long time. Sometimes, of course, yes, exactly. Sometimes you find somebody produces some songs and music, right, and it dies off within no time. So I think it depends on how far people like it, right, and then it is sustained in the market by the demand. So the longer it is demanded for, the longer it takes for the protection. Right.
So what will be your final remarks, especially for the up-and-coming intellectuals and the creatives?
I think the most important thing is to address the concerns of the upcoming innovators in this market for protection in the field of IP, is to tell them that the protection of the law is there. Their innovation should not be inhibited by anything. They should just be free, right, and be innovative. Produce as much as they can, right, and the law is there to protect them.
Wonderful. Yes. Thank you so much, Senior, for coming here and telling us more about intellectual property and the rights that we have. Yes. We thank you for joining us today.
Thank you too for inviting me.
We have come to the end of yet another episode. Many thanks for watching. For more information on simplified legal issues, You can log on to our website on www.wakilimkononi.co.ke, or you can follow us on our social media pages at Wakilim Kononi on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Remember, ignorance of the law is no defense. Until next time, bye.